Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a bit of a different video from what I've done so far on this channel. I hope to do more like this, a bit more positive videos in the future. Sorry for the first few being so negative, but this one I wanted to do my top 5, well top 7, top 5 really. It's 7 sets total, 5 play sets, 1 Master Builder Series, 1 UCS set that I want to see next year or just in the future in general. And I broke it down by, I did like 5 different price tiers. So I did battle pack tier, which realistically should be 20 bucks ish, but you know how that's been this year. And then 40 to 60, which I would say is like small playset tier. 60 to 90, which is like moderate size playset tier. 90 to 120, which is like, all right, we're really starting to get like a good looking model here. And then 120 plus, where it's like basically a mini UCS set almost. Like it's a very good looking display piece. And then I have Master Builder Series UCS set. So I did a few criteria for these. I did my best to avoid remakes. Battle Pack, it's pretty much impossible to avoid a remake with something that it's like they'd realistically make it and would be desirable. It's kind of hard to meet all 3 of those criteria where it's not a remake, it's desirable, they'd realistically make it. I tried to keep everything semi-realistic. Some of it is, I don't think they would, but I hope they can. And if you do see me looking down, I have notes on my iPad here for this video because I wanted to kind of have my ideas written down and not just be rattling off things. So 2 minutes in, let's get right into it. My battle pack is a Phase 1 clone battle pack. I know that's super boring, just a remake of one that they've done a bunch of times, but I would want it to be a little different. I'd hope that they would finally make a new ARC Trooper in there, similar to what they did in the 2012 one. I'm lucky to own a few of those, but they could just do so much better now than they did back then. And that's already one of the best figures they've ever made. But if they were to take that same concept and do it now, it would be incredible. So like 1 ARC Trooper, 1 plain Phase 1 clone Trooper. I know this is maybe wishful thinking, but like a Wolfpack Trooper, and then something else like a Gunner or maybe a name character, who knows. But that would be what my dream battle pack would be. Maybe 2 plain ones, so you can kind of army build those, because I don't have a whole lot of those, because they haven't really made that many of them in recent years. And when they were making a lot of them in the early 2010s, I wasn't buying a lot of them. I'd buy like 1 or 2 battle packs at most. So being able to get a lot of those now would be really great. So for the $40 to $60 tier, I did Ahsoka versus Vader from Rebels on Malachor. So we haven't gotten any Rebels sets that I can think of since the show was releasing. We've gotten like Ahsoka series sets that are kind of adjacent to that, like the Ghost is pretty similar to the one from Rebels and all, but we haven't actually gotten anything from Rebels, and it's been a couple years since I've watched the show in its entirety, but that is one of the scenes that is very memorable from that show, and it is probably my favorite arc from the show. Maybe if I rewatch it, that opinion would change, but that end of season 2 arc was my favorite out of Rebels, and it would just be a really cool set to have. And I don't believe we've gotten a Rebels Ahsoka since that series came out, since I don't think we've gotten any Rebels sets. So yeah, just kind of bringing back that lightsaber duel line that they did for a few years there, because they did it with I know they had the Mustafar one, they had the Ahsoka and Maul one, I know they did a few others. There was like a Rey one, probably some others I'm forgetting. But yeah, that one, pretty simple. 2 figures, small build, that type of thing. Next one for the 60 to 90 range one, this is where we're getting a bit more into like the real playset territory, or like ship territory. I have actually had to Google the name for this one. I could just picture it in my head, but it's Luthen's Fondor Hallcraft. It's a ship from Andor. We really haven't gotten much of anything for Andor. Like the only real dedicated Andor set is the first one we got back in 2021 or 22, whenever season 1 released, the Ferrix set there. The recent ones that they did with the U-Wing and K2SO, they're great sets. Both of those are very good sets, but other than the Dedra Fig, you could release both of those sets as Rogue One sets, and no one would have been able to tell the difference. They're both pretty much just identical, not identical, but they would fit in just under the generic Star Wars line. There's no way of, other than the Dedra Fig again, really differentiating them from just being Rogue One sets. There's nothing that really dedicates them as Andor sets, and this would be probably one of their, or I guess I say one of their first, it would be their second set that I know of that would be dedicated to Andor. Like I said, they've made a few others, but they're not, they can kind of be interchanged with other movies and shows and all that. This would be the first thing that they've made in a while that's directly from that. One of the things that I actually did think of was like a Gorman set would have been really cool, something from that scene. However, I highly doubt they'd make something from something that dark. Just that part of the show was a very dark time, and I highly doubt that they would make anything from that, which is why I didn't include that on here, although I think it would be cool. Just something like the square area, like the town square area there, whatever you want to call it, or something from that area. So that's another tangent I could go on. I don't think we've gotten as many Andor sets as probably a lot of people would like, even though the show is incredible, because of how dark it is, and it's just hard to market that stuff to kids, because the show, while it performed well ratings-wise, from my understanding, viewership-wise, it wasn't as good as some of the other shows that they've done. Don't get me wrong, it's probably the best one they've ever done, but just not as popular as, say, Mandalorian, because it didn't have a Baby Yoda. So for the $90 to $120 range, this is where we're really getting into serious territory of some bigger ships. I have a Naboo Royal Starship, the chrome ship from The Phantom Menace. Now, I would give it a less than 1% chance if they ever made this that it would be chrome. It's just not something they really do too much anymore. Realistically, it would probably be either like a gray or silver color, which even if they did it fully shiny silver, I and probably many other people would be willing to pay the probably outrageous price they'd have to charge for full silver, because I assume the shinier pieces like that probably cost them a little bit more. It would probably be somewhere in like the 20-cent price per piece range, which I know isn't everything, but just like ballpark type thing. Like if it was a $120 set, it would probably be, I don't know, 600, 700 pieces if I had to guess, because I'm sure those silver pieces probably aren't cheap for them to make. Yeah, that would just be, it would probably be more in the $120 range than the $90 range. I just came up with some arbitrary numbers in my head of like, I kind of have like tiers of playsets type thing. So I think the Royal Starship would be a great pick for that price range. So finally, for the 120 plus range, I did the Trade Federation landing ship for my pick on that one from episode 1, the big brown, almost like T-shaped ship that they used to bring all the droids down onto Naboo. It's always a model that it's like, it doesn't have that much screen time, but it would just be really cool to get something like that in LEGO finally. It's one of the few, I shouldn't say one of the few, but one of the main ships that I feel like to kind of recreate that scene that we don't have yet, because we have the MTTs, we have the STAPs, we have the droid carriers, we have all that, but we don't have the landing craft. So that would be a really cool ship that I think they could make, and I think a lot of people would like that set, because a lot of people like to build droid armies, and the MTT is like an all-time favorite set, so like that's kind of adjacent to it, and I think that that set would do very well, and it is definitely one of my most wanted sets. So, like I said, none of these are including remakes. I could have made an entire list of remakes. Let me know if you want that, or maybe I'll just do something like that in the future where I list my top 10 most wanted remakes or something like that. Would probably be a lot different than what a lot of other people would do. There would definitely be some common picks in there, but there's a few where it's like, I just really liked this older set from when I was a kid, and I never got it, and I would want it now type thing. So now on to the big stuff. I have a Master Builder Series set and a UCS set. So for these ones, I allowed myself to pick remakes because Now, I don't know for sure, but I didn't check every single UCS set they've ever done. But as far as I know, I don't believe they have ever made at least a ship of a UCS set that didn't have a playscale version. Obviously, you have sets like the Death Star that they could never do a full-scale version in playscale. But for example, they have like the AT-AT has playscale, Star Destroyer has playscale, Venator has playscale, even though it's only one. That would be a remake I'd want. But for the Master Builder series and UCS set, I did allow myself to choose remakes of existing playsets, not existing UCS sets. So for the Master Builder series set, I picked Jabba's Palace with Rancor Pit. This is something that I do own the original version, and it is a great set, great pair of sets, but it definitely has some age to it. I'm looking at it right over there as I'm talking about it. That's why I might be glancing to my right. But I think what they could do now with a Master Builder series scale of this set would just be like out of this world. I think they'd have to keep it on the lower price range because it's not a super in demand thing. It's not like the Death Star or anything like that. Like they couldn't charge $7,000-8,000 for this. But I think like $400 to $500 for it would be pretty reasonable. Make it kind of similar style to the Death Star. Obviously it's smaller, it's not the exact same thing, but just kind of like a big box type thing with the palace on the top and then the Rancor pit below, I think would be really cool. And yeah, that's my pick for the Master Builder series set. I think that would be a absolutely beautiful model. That's my pick for the Master Builder series set. Other option I had was Endor and the Senate from just like the Senate chambers, but I did decide to go with the Jabba's Palace. Now that one, with the last one, I think there was some legal stuff questionably about it. I don't want to go into all that, but I don't know if they would ever remake that, so I don't know how realistic that pick really is, but I hope to see it someday. And finally, on to my last pick for the UCS set. I chose the Malevolence. It would be another Clone Wars era UCS set. The only other one that I know of that they've done is the Venator. They haven't done any other Clone Wars sets. They are doing a lot more prequel ones, but the Venator is the only Clone Wars one they've done, so this would be another addition to that and would go great alongside that. It's just a great model that they've only ever done once, and it's very unique. They don't do a lot of Separatist sets. I don't believe they've done a Separatist UCS set, so it would be like a first of type thing with that. Just being Grievous's ship and all that, it would be a really great model, and it would be my pick for a UCS set in this dream wave / year of mine. So yeah, let me know what you guys would pick down below. Don't have to do the tiers like I did. Just do like what your dream set is, or dream UCS set, dream Master Builder series set, that type of thing. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do my picks suck? Do you agree with my picks? What would your picks be? And yeah, like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment on your picks, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see more like this. And I will see you guys later. Bye.